And thank you very much to Josh for joining us. So we started this show around 5.5 hours ago, and we're still going strong. And what a great day it has been. It has been a very special day for me, and I can't thank everyone in the back enough, everyone who's given me these resources to do this show. I can't thank everyone at ESPN, all the great people that I've met so far, Glenn and Steve and Nick and Elisa and Jake and Brittany and Mike and Wesley, who's here, and Anthony, who's back in Bristol, everyone who has been a part, Jeremy, of making this a reality. This all happened very quickly. I've only been a member of ESPN 10 days, and the fact that this is a thing, and the numbers that I'm seeing, and the reaction has just been incredible. So thank you all for joining us on this ride. Like I said, we started this show talking about Leon Edwards. Let's end this show talking to Leon Edwards. He's coming off the biggest win of his career. He has now won 6 in a row. He just defeated Donald Cerrone in Singapore, and now he's on the program to talk about it all. We're talking to Leon Rocky Edwards right now to close out the show. Leon, how are you?
The champ is here.
Yes, there he is.
How's it going?
It's going great. Congratulations on the big win.
Thank you. I'm feeling good, so all good.
Are you back home?
Yeah, I landed last night, so I'm still a bit jet lagged.
Why are you so shy, Leon? Why can't I see you right now?
My camera ain't working on my phone. Yeah, so the UFC ain't paying me enough. I need to buy a new phone.
Oh, look at this guy. All of a sudden, he's won 6 in a row, and he's talking about his pay. I love it. That's the way it should be, Leon. Pay the man.
Exactly, pay the man.
What was Singapore like? You never been there before, right? Or you actually did the pre-fight stuff there, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I went there for the media to promote the fight, and it's nice. It's a nice place. Hot, better than England, so it was good. I enjoyed it. The fans was amazing as well, so I enjoyed it.
You like the country? You like the way that you were received?
Yeah, 100%. The fans was amazing, and like when I was walking to the arena, they cheered for me, and so it was all good. It was all good. Like I said before, it was just another day for me, and to go out there, another country, and get received like that, it was amazing. So it's all good.
Now, what about fighting in your first main event, and you're on this winning streak, and you're fighting a veteran, you're fighting a familiar face, a fan favorite? Did this one feel a little different? Like, now that it's over, can you concede that the heaviness of the fight, the bigness, not a real word, but you get what I'm saying, of the fight, did it get you at all?
Not one bit. I remember being backstage, and I was warming up with my team. I was thinking in my head, well, why am I not getting nervous? And I felt the same as I felt normal, as normal. You know what I mean. So not really. Apart from I fought a bit later, and it was a 5 rounds. Apart from that, everything was exactly the same as another fight week. So it was all good for me.
What's interesting to me about the fight is, and this is what we talked about at the beginning of the show, it feels like because of, you cutting up Donald, but him going the full 5, and because of the information that came out afterwards about him thinking about pulling out of the fight, all that stuff, it feels like more people are talking about Donald than you after the fight. Does that bother you?
Not really. That was news to me that he was ill. Because when I was in the fight, it looked the same Donald.
Yeah.
It looked his last 4 or 5 fights. You know what I mean? So I don't know where that came from. If anything, it looked better than what he did in his last 2 or 3 fights. If anything, you know what I mean? So excuse is for losers, and I'm the winner. So that's the end of that.
Had you heard any rumblings that he was considering pulling out of the fight? Did that ever make it your way?
Not one bit. Not at all. Like backstage, he was being Donald. You know what I mean? So not one bit. That was the first I heard of it. After the fight, in the pre-fight interviews, when one of the reporters asked me the question, like, "What you on about?" So I don't know.
And are you like your reaction when you heard that? Did you feel like it was taking away from your victory? Did you feel it was an excuse? Were you bothered by it?
Yeah, exactly. Cause when I heard it, I thought, like, don't try to take away from a victory. Like I said, that's the best Donald. I think he showed up his last 2 or 3 fights, so he can whatever excuse he want. he got outclassed, and I won most of the fight.
Have you watched the fight yet? I would imagine you've been busy, but have you had a chance to actually watch the entire fight?
Not really. I haven't seen the entire fight yet. I've been, like I said, I landed last night, and I was a bit jet lagged today, so not really. I'll probably watch it tonight before I go to bed. But everyone said I won it comfortable from what I've heard and what I've seen. So
You happy with your performance from what you remember?
from what I remember, I'll probably give myself a 7 out of 10 for the performance. I would have liked to went out there and got the finish because I wanted to push for that Birmingham show to bring the UFC back to Birmingham. That would have been amazing to go out there, get the finish, and then bring him back to my hometown. But it is what it is. I went out there. I felt comfortable. I outclassed him. I was talking to him in there, and I just had fun. So it was good.
When you cut him up with the knee and the elbows, at any point did you feel like, okay, he's on the verge of going out? Like, were you surprised that he actually lasted 25 minutes with you?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I was licking him some clean shots, especially with them elbows from in the clinch. I was connecting cleanly. So, like I said, to say that he was ill and he weren't going to show up and all this, it's surprising to me. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I think he looked his best in there, part of his last 2 or 3 fights. So, I don't know.
And for you to go 25 minutes, you've never done that in your career, right?
Nah, exactly my first time.
Yeah, what
So
was that like?
it was good. I felt good in there because Cowboy whole game plan was for me to slow down and for him to pick the pace up. That's what I kept saying all pre-fight. So when I got to the 4th and 5th round, I was talking to him and said, "You see, you're gonna pick the pace up. Well, why are you slowing down?" And just talking to him and and having fun in there. So it was good.
Okay, so you go the distance with him. You beat him. Do you feel, because I know from his team, like, they thought they won the last 3 rounds. Did you feel?
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
No.
Yes. Did you feel before they announced the scorecards? Did you know without a shadow of a doubt?
Yeah, 100%. I thought I was up 3 4 rounds easy. I took the 5th off because I thought I was up 4 rounds. That's I gave him the 5th. So I don't understand where they came from with their 1 2 3 rounds. That's madness. So like I said, excuses for losers. I won the fight, and I'm just cracking on my career.
Okay, and what about that move? I saw he did that move, that classic move where he held onto your glove and kicked you. Do you remember that?
Yeah, exactly. We was in the one point. We was in the clinch at one point. So he grabbed my gloves in the clinch. So for fuck this, grabbed his gloves as well, and then he was like, "You let go of my gloves, I let go of your gloves." I let go of his gloves, let go of my gloves. Then we was back to the fight, but it's just, I feel like it's a veteran tactic.
Yeah.
Like you try all the gloves in the clinch, and so the referee can't see it. I just tried to pull out of the clinch. He kept holding my gloves and throw the head kick, but I blocked it nicely, and it was all right.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, people hold the gloves a lot, but not when I'm trying to pull out and they hold on to the gloves and throw like a shot as I'm trying to pull out and still holding on to the gloves. No, not that's the first time.
Do you recall the referee saying anything to him about that?
Well, the referee he said he did, but I didn't hear nothing. But he said he warned him about pulling my gloves, but he kept doing it throughout the fight. So
Oh, multiple times. I only saw that one time.
Nah, he was doing it when they try and go for the takedown as well against the cage, and he just kept holding the gloves. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That make you think differently of him?
Not really. He's a veteran of the sport, and yet you do what you have to do in there to try to get a victory. You know what I mean? So it didn't help him one bit, and so it's all good.
Okay. Afterwards, you called out Jorge Masvidal. You didn't go with Darren Till like last time. Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I was looking at the rankings. I was looking at who haven't got fights, and Masvidal stand out to me. I think he was number 6, number 7 in the rankings, and so I think he'd be a good fit to bring him back to my hometown in Birmingham and to school him in Birmingham. So that'd be good. So I'll have a little time off now and spend time with my family. I've been in back-to-back camps, and so it'd be good to fight one more time end of the year. So if he's willing to wait, and I'm good to go to the end of the year.
Okay, so end of the year. What are you thinking?
Um, like I said, if George Masvidal wants it end of the year, I'll be willing to go. October, like November-ish probably. Because
Okay.
I've been on back-to-back camps. I fought in March. I went straight into the Cerrone camp. So I need a little time off now to chill with my family and just recover a bit and go again end of the year.
All right. And was there? I mean, you just feel like he's the next logical step for you, Masvidal, or was it more to that?
Now, like I said, everyone in the top 10 can get it. You know what I mean? So it's not like nothing. Me hating on Masvidal. I looked at the rankings at the time. He didn't have a fight. I said I'll fight him next, and that's simple. What it is. My aim is to get that is to get that world title. So just keep chipping away, one fight at a time, and I'll get to where I want to get to.
Do you feel like the UFC is interested in that fight? Like, have you heard anything from them since you called them out?
Not really. I spoke to Sean Shelby after the fight, and he was like, it sounds good, and but I had nothing
Okay.
since came from back home. So it's only been like a day or two anyway. So give him another week or so. I'll see.
Fair enough. Yeah. And he kind of responded to you. I mean, I guess it sort of seemed like he's interested, but is kind of open to anything. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I sent a reply, and it's the same kind of reply that Cerrone gives. I'll fight anybody anyway. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So if he's good to go, like I said, end of the year, I'm good to go. If he's willing to wait for till November, them times there, I'm willing to go.
By the way, so right now in Singapore it would be like 5 a.m., right? I think.
Yeah.
So are you struggling?
Like I'm jet lagged, so I was like waiting for you to phone me. He's like, I'll phone you 5 minutes. You kept like prolonging it to like another 5 minutes. So.
Yes. I'm
I'm
sorry.
coffeed up now, and I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm good.
Well, but this is maybe good for you, right? So you can get back on normal UK track.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying. But
Is
hard work.
is Birmingham a real thing? Is it going to happen?
I want it to happen. Why not?
Yeah.
I remember going to Birmingham show when I was a kid, and my teammate Vaughan Lee, he made his debut on the show. I think he was like 19 years old, and I remember being in the stands and watching it, and thinking one day I need to be here. You know what I mean? So for me to come back now and bring him back to Birmingham, headline the bill, that'd be an amazing dream of mine to accomplish, and to get people like Tom Breeze that train in my training camp on the card, and my little brother Fabian as well. You can make his debut on the show.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing for me. So I can't see why they wouldn't. They come everywhere else in England, so why not?
So is your brother, is his next fight going to be in the UFC?
Well, I heard nothing about that now. I think his next fight is for the Bama World title. So he's fighting for the Bama World title in September, I think. And so, like I said, if I fight end of the year, if it is a Birmingham show, he could go again end of the year. You know what I mean? So that'd be good to, like I said, let him make his debut on the card. I'm headlining.
Right. Well, I spoke, by the way, to your fellow countryman, Patrick Ewing. He is so proud of you for doing what you did on Saturday, representing Jamaica. You came out with the flag. That was huge.
Yeah.
We're all very proud of you, all of us honorary Jamaicans.
Thank you. You can never forget where you come from, man, Errol.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean? So, I always represent Jamaica no matter where I go, and it's all good.
What was that song that you came out to? I liked it very much.
Nipsey Hussle, grinding all my life.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good song, man. You know what I mean? So I come out to my last fight as well, so twice I came out to that song, and I like it.
Last thing for you, Leon, do you feel like because of the fact that you're not a big trash talker, you're not the kind of guy who's going to ruffle feathers, that you might have to go through like a Tony Ferguson like run here, that the Colby Covingtons of the world in this day and age are getting title shots maybe a little sooner than most expected. Yeah. But then there's some guys who have to win 11, 12, 13 in a row before getting a title shot. Does this worry you?
Not really, because then when I do get to the title, all the fights will be a rematch. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I keep chipping away, keep working hard, and it doesn't matter when I get a title shot, as long as I get a title shot. You know what I mean? Either way, if I do talk shit and get the title, I want to fight these guys anyway. So it's just a rematch when I get to the title.
Okay, but do you feel like it's going to be like at least you're 6 now? Do you feel like?
No, I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not. Like I said, I'm six in a row now. I fought some good guys that they was trying to build up. I went in there, I beat them. So I hope not. I'd love to see where I am now in the rankings. I don't know when they come out, but I'd love to see where they put me now in the rankings, and hopefully I should be top 10. I can't see why not, and go from there.
Well, congratulations on the win. Big win for you. Unanimous decision victory on Saturday in Singapore over Donald Cerrone. That's 6 in a row, as you just said. Looking forward to what's next. Enjoy this one, Leon, and also thank you very much for staying up and for staying caffeinated for us. But I think I did you a favor, because now you'll be, you could go to bed. It's almost 11 o'clock over there. This is perfect. So I think I did you a favor.
Card. How did you score the fight?
Oh, I thought you won 3-2.
Good man.
Yes, of course.
Good man. I'll probably go 4-1, but I'll take the 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you got the W. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Good man.
Thank you, Leon. Congrats.
Thank you.
There he is, Leon Edwards, Rocky Edwards. He has now won his last 6 in a row. Dominic Waters, Albert Tumanov, Vincente Luque, Brian Barberina, Peter Sabata, and then, of course, Donald Cerrone. He wins via unanimous decision. Climbing up that ladder, it does feel like we have a new face, a new player, a new contender to speak of at the top of that division. There's a lot going on up there, but I do feel like he is now someone that we need to start paying attention to when we talk about the top of that division. Okay, what a day it has been. 13 guests have come and gone. The best of the best. From Daniel Cormier to Stipe Miocic to Max Holloway to Rose Namajunas, Josh Barnett, Leona Machida, Rashad Evans retiring. I mean, it has been an unbelievable day. But there was only one way that we can truly end this day. There was only one way that I wanted to end this day. It's with my old friend New York Ric. A lot of you have been asking me, where's New York Ric? Is he coming with you? Is he there? Is he going to be there Monday? Don't worry. Like I said about the show, like I said about Mondays, don't worry. I got you. Here's New York Ric. He's standing by. Let's bring him in studio. We broke the fourth wall, right? We broke the fourth wall when we were at our previous home. Now he's allowed to come in studio all the time. Now he brings in his own chair. Look at this. Very DIY. New York Ric, how are you?
Good, sir.
It's good to see you again, buddy.
Likewise.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You have a mic?
I'm Mike.
You are Mike. Okay, let me take these off because I don't need to listen to this while you're here. It's good to see you again, buddy.
Likewise.
It's so great to have you here. There he is in the flesh, New York Ric. Yes, there. No, you're kind of in the shadows, but it's all good. We'll get that.
You know what? It's better.
Maybe come a little closer to me. Let's see. No,
I feel like that was...
Okay, that was bad.
Yeah, look at that.
There it is. See, look at New York Ric. In the flesh, ESPN. We made it.
This is all you.
This is good.
I can't take any credit.
Do you feel like we broke the fourth wall?
Yeah, why not?
Do you feel like now that you were in studio once, that you
this
can
is the
always be in
expectation.
studio?
It's not. It'd be nice.
Yes. It's better.
I can't complain.
How are things back there?
Fantastic. I mean, you. How did you?
Everything's
turn
great.
The tables. How did you feel about it?
Everything's great. They're telling me that your mic is not working, so maybe do we have to share a mic here? Let me see. Let's just get this right here for a second. Is it on? Did you turn it on?
It's on.
Yes?
Check.
If
Test.
someone wants to come in, they could come in. I don't mind. I don't mind when we break the other fourth wall. I just want to get an okay that the mic is working. Have you been mic'd up this whole time to the point where your battery went out?
This was just done before I came out.
Well, this might be the shortest appearance ever. Let's see. I want to ask you questions. You come in. Yeah. Don't be scared. Here's our man Wes. Going to bring you a new mic here in a second.
Look at that.
Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day, but we're going to get this right here. Wes has done a phenomenal job for us. Boom. Swap that bad boy out. How do you have that? Around your neck?
It's up the back.
Wow, look at you. Now does it work?
Check. Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes, hopefully we can hear you just fine. Let me see. I'll put the headphones on and that should work. Let's see here. Say something to me.
Hello, Ariel.
Oh, that's much better.
Okay.
That is much better.
Now we're talking. Now we're in business.
Okay. That is much better.
People missed all this.
Yes, this
all
is great.
banter.
This is great. Yes, everything's been great. I'm
felt
so
good.
happy. Yeah. I got someone sent me something about the numbers. Just incredible. So,
Absolutely incredible. The team back there is fantastic.
We're in
What's
good
more to
hands.
say?
Our baby's in good hands.
Yeah.
Come a long way from that 34th Street little.
Man, I mean, I carried the plexiglass. to
Yes,
build
you
that
literally
thing.
on
took
your
it
back.
on my back on the subway. And now
On the
that-
subway.
yeah.
Really?
You know what? Because I had never done anything in production or anything like that. I thought I was being a good soldier. And then when I got there, they're like, "You're an idiot. Take a cab next time."
Oh, because that was like your first,
I was trying to make an impression. Look,
plexiglass.
At the time, the subway was like $2. Spend $2.
It wasn't that long ago. It was like 7 years ago. It wasn't like 15 years ago.
7 years, a long time.
Was it $2?
Maybe even been $175. I don't know, but yeah, I wanted to show off a little bit. Now, was that the right move? In hindsight, no. But we've come from that to here.
Like our old friend Connor once said, from nothing to something to everything.
To everything.
Okay, without further ado, what else do we have? You got some questions.
I've got some questions for you.
Yes.
New hashtag out there for everybody.
Yes.
The hashtag Helwani Show.
Helwani Show, people loving it. And let me just say that a lot of people are worried, like, oh, I can't rewind.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've seen that's just been the constant. Once the show's done, on Twitter, I actually, and I'm not just saying this, I actually feel like the Twitter rewind function is much better than YouTube because you can literally just like scroll. It's a lot easier to find where you want to go. So the moment the show is done, you can rewind. Do not worry.
Right.
And then there's going to be a playlist, I'm told, on the ESPN YouTube account where the show is going to be listed there. You can watch the thing. So I understand, you have your routines. I get it. But please have no fear that we're in a very good place here, and it's only going to get better from here, and that this all happened very quickly. It's almost incredible that it happened the way it did. So please have no fear. Just trust us. We always come through. Now, what do you got? Some questions?
We have some questions.
Okay.
First question, Austin Farmer.
Okay.
Bellator just announced their welterweight Grand Prix. Looks like it's going to be huge. Thoughts on that?
Oh, yes, that's right. I saw that.
During the show.
Lance Pugmire, right?
That's right. We had that during the show. MVP, Daly.
Koreshkov, right? And Benson Henderson. No, not Benson Henderson. Who else did I see in there? You pull that up while I talk about this. Yes, that is big. I believe they'll be talking about it tomorrow at the press conference, among other things. And I like it. It seems like this is something that they want to do. It seems like this is something that they want to be a staple of theirs, the tournament. I mean, so far the heavyweight tournament, I think, has been a success in the sense that the four guys have come together, and these are the best four. As I said not that long ago, like Mitrione fighting Bader, Fyodor fighting Chael is the best matchup possible, or the best matchups possible. So it sounds like this is something they want to do. The one thing that I would ask, if I can, is if we can get them all on the same night. The first round matchups, like make the whole card on the same night.
Yeah.
And then make the semis on the same night. Maybe just to make it a little quicker. It just, here we are in June and the first round. I think it's been a success, but I want it to feel more like a tournament. So if you have the first four matchups the same night, it will feel bigger, in my opinion, like they did with the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix.
Yeah. So Lima, Koreshkov, Daly, MVP, Rory McDonald.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so Rory McDonald
will fight for the middleweight belt against Mosasi.
Okay.
And then participated in the Grand Prix at a later date as fights continue into 2019.
Oh, interesting.
So not all on one,
right,
obviously, because
okay.
Rory's going to be on the same card.
Yeah.
Then push
later.
So
it's September 29th.
September 29th.
Interesting. Okay, so that's the San Jose card. So my request has not been accepted.
No,
right
but look, Rory McDonald entering the tournament, also getting that fight against Gegard that you had both of them on the show talking about. I think the fans are winning on that one.
Okay.
So I think we're in agreement. Great idea, Grand Prix, big names. MVP going to get up probably a step up in competition regardless of who he's facing in that tournament. I think that'd be a great first round matchup.
Or
do you save it for round two?
No,
you can't risk it.
Get it out of the way, please. Because what if a guy loses? Now you're guaranteed not having him fight that guy for 3 fights. Because if he goes through the tournament, right?
Yeah.
It would be a nightmare. Oh, I get anxiety just thinking about it. You have to do that fight. Do it in London. Make that fight the main event. It would be one of the biggest fights in UK MMA history.
So that actually segues.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Till Edwards or Daly MVP, what's the more interesting Brit on Brit fight at the moment?
Right now? Gosh. Is it possible it's Daly MVP just because of the hate?
I think there's just more there. They've been talking about it for so long. Have you lost interest in it though because it hasn't come together?
No, I haven't. In fact, the last back and forth was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The last back and forth was incredible. But we are risking I think people forget that the Daly John Fitch fight, it didn't even happen.
No.
It was just sort of like a blip
Let's
on the
just
radar.
move on.
Yeah, so let's just move on.
Is it daily MVP for you? I think it is for me.
Kind of, because I want to see Till fight anyone I want to. Like I'm not like married to that fight. There's nothing there.
I do like it.
I like it, but these two I'm married to.
Yeah.
Like I will be genuinely upset if they don't fight each other next.
Till could fight anybody. Edwards could fight anybody. I'm interested. They're both top contenders. Daly, don't really want to see him fight anyone else. MVP, don't really want to see him fight anyone else. These are the two guys.
Yes.
They need to be matched up.
That's the difference.
So
I'm not saying that Daly and MVP are bigger stars or have accomplished more, whatever the case may be, but that together, they are magic.
Yeah, the combination
yes.
definitely works. Okay, with Stipe DC around the corner, fan anticipation is rising. This is from PD and Gia.
Our friend.
Loyal fan.
Stuck with us.
Fan anticipation is rising. UFC 226 seems poised to be huge. Does this prove trash talking in MMA is overrated? Everyone talks about the McGregor effect, but Stipe, Cormier, Holloway, Ortega, all respectful martial artists. Is this the GSP effect? Are we returning to the traditional roots?
Okay, so I have a question for you. I have a question. Do you feel like, does it not feel like 226 is just sort of like one of those like blimps on top of a football stadium that's just sort of hanging there? Like I feel like it should feel bigger at this point. So I don't know if I subscribe to this because I want something.
I want to
feel.
Are people snake bitten by how many times we've been excited for these cards and then they've fallen apart and don't want to?
No, I don't think that's it. I think that there's literally, I think for you and I, for the hardcores, it is phenomenal, right? It's a dream.
Top of the line.
It's historic. It's the two fights. There's nothing to dislike, but I feel like the casuals need the friction, and that kind of makes it bigger. That makes it boil over the pot.
So you're essentially saying no to this question. We need the heat. We need the trash talk. We just talked about it with Daily MVP. Like that's what we want.
I don't need it, but to feel like it's become like it's a thing, like a can't miss event, must see. I feel like the world needs it.
Yeah,
and I don't mean like our little world. I mean, the big world.
Yeah, the ones who are not tuning in.
To talk about the mainstream. We're mainstream, York Ric.
This is it. We are now.
We made it.
Speaking on behalf.
It's like that episode of Wayne's World when they were like in the basement, and then the guy comes. Now the suit guy comes in.
Now
and
we're truly going to break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the reported low pay-per-view buys, this is from Phil, the MMA dude, from UFC 225, a sign once and for all that the pay-per-view model has become obsolete and or overpriced? If not, what does the UFC need to do to ensure strong pay-per-view buy rates going forward, besides a McGregor return? That's the obvious.
I'm not one who believes that pay-per-view is dead, because we just saw a pay-per-view less than a year ago that did over 4 million.
Yep.
So you can't say that pay-per-view is dead. It's just dead for certain people. Like the days of just saying, oh, there's a UFC pay-per-view and that's going to sell X amount, those days are over.
Yeah.
Or at least those days aren't here right now. They could return. But witness the fact that in boxing, very few fights are on pay-per-view. You have, obviously the Triple G Canelas of the world, when Floyd fights, if he fights again, those are on pay-per-view. But the rest, even the biggest, like Joshua Wilder, would not be on pay-per-view. And even, like you see them on ESPN Plus now. There's PBC still going on. Very, very, very rare. I mean, you don't have a thing in boxing where it's like one a month. I think the UFC should move to that kind of model and put like July 7th is pay-per-view, fine. You want to do that 2 title fights. I don't think pay-per-view is dead. I just don't know. I mean, look at 225. 225 was incredible, right? I mean, you had Romero, you had the Colby fight, you had CM Punk, all that stuff. I mean, it was a great card. And the reports are 225 that it did pay-per-view wise, right? Buys. So there are stars that transcend the sport. Conor, Ronda, Brock. Jones DC transcends the sport. I don't know if Jones on his own. I think a return would be big. So there are stars of that magnitude, but I don't think that the great stacked pay-per-views of yesteryear are automatic, smash hits. There was a time, remember UFC 123 Rampage versus Machida? That did like 500,000. Yes.
Yeah.
That did like 500,000. In this day and age, what does that do? 150?
Yeah.
Same card, not those guys, at this age, like back then. So just the game has
where
changed.
You could roll out one guy and do $1 million are gone.
Yeah.
So does that mean that the model needs to change to better matched fights versus focusing all the big names on, like, is 226 going to change that trend?
The only difference is there's more shows now. So the novelty of, once a month I'm fixing for my UFC has changed. Yeah. It's not the same. That was the appeal, right? Once a month, boom, here we are. Okay. there's a UFC. I don't care. It's not like, oh, who's on that card? No,
Yeah.
it's UFC. You want that card. The game has changed. That's the difference.
Game has changed.
What else we got?
Can Tyron Woodley versus Colby Covington crack 350K pay-per-view?
By the way,
buys?
can I just give a shout out to my mom who's in Israel right now, watching us live and has been watching the entire show live. Your biggest fan, obviously my biggest fan. She's still there. She's one viewer who hasn't jumped ship, among many others.
She texted me pre-show and told me she's waiting.
Mama knows. And happy birthday to her. Birthday yesterday.
That's right.
Turned 35. Unbelievable. She's so young. 4 kids. I forgot about my sister.
You almost messed up there. It's been a long show.
It has been a long show. Yes. What else we have?
Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley, 350K pay-per-view buys. That one has the heat. It has, a champion and another champion now potentially clashing. Does that do it? Is that the type of fight that could potentially...
That fight could be gigantic. I'm really curious about the promotion. Last I checked, I spoke to the people involved. No real chatter about it yet. No offers, no discussions. I'm looking at... This is a total guess, but that September 8th pay-per-view doesn't have a main event yet. So I wonder if they target that. Nico versus Valentina is the one that's been discussed, but still not close to finalized. They're trying to get a location for that. They've talked about Texas. If they do Conor versus Khabib in September by some crazy stroke of luck, then they'll maybe swap the October pay-per-view in Vegas and put it in September, and then do the September pay-per-view location wherever it may be in October, if that made sense. All to say, if Colby ends up at the White House, and if this trends the right way, I think it could do very well. How great, 400, 500 in this day and age, it's so hard to tell. But I feel like this is one of those fights that can burst through the bubble. And if I'm being honest, I feel like it's one of those fights that could get uncomfortable. But I can't wait, because you remember Tyron when we spoke to him 2 weeks ago. That was a different Tyron. That was a much different Tyron, and I like that Tyron.
Setting aside McGregor for a second, is that the biggest fight that the UFC can make?
From a story standpoint, from a beef standpoint, I mean, it's up there because it feels real. It doesn't feel fabricated.
2 belts as well.
Yeah, 2 belts. No, there's Brock, there's Jon Jones, there's DC. Yeah.
Okay, that segues nicely.
Okay, yes,
Speaking of Jon Jones,
yes.
When are we going to have a resolution on the Jon Jones saga? On hearing from USADA, when are we going to see Jon Jones?
I think by the time kids go back to school, here we are beginning of summer. I feel like by the time school starts again, we'll have a sense, if you get what I'm saying.
Interesting. He was on Twitter today responding to some of Daniel Cormier's
Yes.
comments. Okay, assuming Jones and Brock are cleared to fight, both of them simultaneously or at different points, which fight happens first? Would they make Jones Brock? This has been discussed, even though Jones DC is also available. Or what about DC Brock? How does that permutation work?
Wow, that's a fascinating question. I mean, I feel like they could do no wrong. Gun to my head, I feel like they try to do Jones Brock. Here's the thing: if DC beats Stipe, I think they try to do Jones Brock, and then they try to do DC fight the winner in his retirement fight, quote unquote.
I like it.
That's what I feel like is going to happen, or what they'll try to do, because what is this new era all about? The biggest fights possible, and Jones
Brock is it?
Is like a comic book.
Yeah. Shout out to Dominic Sabatino who submitted that one. Nate asking who's going to win the World Cup.
Wow.
I saw a lot of love for England on the Twitter.
Yesterday, 6-1 Panama. I mean, yes, I know Panama is nowhere near the 3 lions, but so far, and it's so funny because I'm on the record. Like, you could go back. Right. I picked England. I told you why I love them. The Commonwealth brothers, Canada's not there, and like they can't get any credit. They beat Tunisia. Oh, it's Tunisia. They beat Panama. Oh, it's Panama. They can't get any credit. So I'm sticking with my guys. I feel like what's different this year about last year, by the way, cheers. I feel like what's different is there's no pressure on them. There's no spotlight. Did I say last year? I mean 4 years ago or 8 years ago or 12 years ago or 16 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no pressure. No one's talking about them. They're not one of the big dogs. They're not Germany. They're not Brazil. They're not even Portugal. And everyone's just kind of sleeping on them. So that's fine.
So are you
sleep on us? Sleep
on
us.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. Are you upset or not upset that they're flying under the radar?
This is incredible. I was watching that match yesterday. It was perfect time, 8 a.m. Got to watch it for 2 hours, and it was just like five goals in the first half. It was nuts. Yeah. 5 goals in the first half. We gave Panama 1. They celebrated their first ever goal in the World Cup. It was phenomenal. And we're now on to, and I'm saying we, and I feel like I can't say we, we're going to the round of 16. Wow. This is incredible.
The
yes,
royal
I'm sticking with England. We will win. and all you haters can shove it.
Steve, you may know Steve who's asking this question. He wants to know who's your favorite person you work with at ESPN.
Wow. Oh, Steve. I feel okay now. I feel like I know the. I mean, it's like picking my children, right?
Good answer.
Yes. Glenn, Steve, Nick, Elisa, Jake, Brittany, who I've not met yet, but I hope to meet very soon. I cannot say enough good things. And I'm not going to talk too much about like the past and all that stuff, but the love and appreciation and how welcoming everyone's been, and just doing this, and the Ariel and the Bad Guy Show on ESPN Plus. Thank you for signing up. I heard you signed up last week.
I did.
We appreciate your patronage.
I made you a promise, and I stuck to it.
You stuck to it. It's just been overwhelming. It's been incredible. So it's amazing how these things work. Like you stay in one place for a while, and then all of a sudden you're somewhere else, and you have to meet new people. And it's like the first day of school all over again. But I couldn't be happier, and I couldn't be more excited about the future. So I feel like literally this is just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come, and what we'll be able to do together. So I'm sorry, Steve, I can't pick one, but Steve in particular has been phenomenal. So let me give him props. He is such a cool guy and so great to work with. If I think this is the right Steve.
It is the right Steve.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's been incredible.
Steve, he shouted you out.
Yes, there you go.
You got what you're after there. When will we see you? Okay, this is the last question. When will we see you in one of those funny ESPN commercials, maybe chatting by the water cooler with GSP?
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like that's a solid one.
Yes.
Talking dinosaurs.
From your lips to God's ears. That would be nice. One of those like, hey, George, what's happening? Yeah. Right?
Those hold a special place in my heart.
Yes, those are great. They had a great one recently with Aaron Judge, where he's on the treadmill, and then Scott Van Pelt is there, and then he's like, hey, and he does the home run trot, and he says goodbye. Like I said, sky's the limit. New episode of Ariel and the Bad Guy coming up on Wednesday on ESPN Plus. Then we're going to 226 pre and post fight show, and of course the Monday routine is back. And I got all the messages last week. And I missed you as much as you missed me. And I know I speak for New York Ric as well, that he appreciated all the messages. It's been incredible. So here we go. The train has left the station. We're here.
One in the books.
And let me tell you, this courtesy of our good friends at Twitter. And by the way, Twitter, as we've said before, our favorite social media platform. It is an honor to be part of this on Twitter. This is where we want to be. Okay? So let's just get that right out of the way. Here's some information. You can watch an entire replay of this show from beginning to end. Do not worry if you missed anything. Over at periscope.tv/ESPN. And it will all be there week after week after week if you want to go back. Have no fear. Yes, I know. Routines are routines. But guess what? New era, dawn of a new era. This is the Helwani Show. Also, you can get highlights from the show on youtube.com/ESPN, including interviews from today's program with Daniel Cormier, Rose Namajunas, Rashad Evans, and others. And of course, Rashad Evans announces retirement earlier today. What a big honor that was. And then of course, we'll be back right here next Monday on Twitter, live.twitter.com/ESPN, to do this whole show all over again. My friend, it has been fun.
Congratulations,
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my co-pilot. You're leaving?
Am I invited to stay? You know what?
Stay. Why not? It's a new era. Times have changed. You got the man bun. Why not?
Wow.
You're looking good.
I got the polo
I am good.
on.
Yes, you actually dressed up for the occasion. So much has been going on that we never actually kind of like, in full disclosure, rehearsed the ending. So let's just go. Let me just get my thing here. Do we have my music? Can I say you can hit my music? There's the music. I like the music. It's very happy. It puts me in a good mood. Just a smidge lower, just a smidge, if possible. We'll get it. Do not worry. It has been a great day. Thank you very much to everyone who has stopped by. Thank you very much. I was doing, old habits die hard, Mr. New York Ric. Old habits die hard. I was doing something that I typically like to do at the end of the show, but that is not the case. What a great time it is. What a great new era. What a great start. All guests showed up. All guests were on time. What more could I ask for, right? What more can I ask for? Thank you very much to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to all our guests. From DC to Stipe to Rose to Suga to Josh Barnett, every single person who stopped by, Derek Lewis, Kayla Harrison, I can't thank you all enough. All those guests who I reached out to and said, yes, I will be there on the first day. It meant the world to me, and I will never forget it, and I will forever be able to repay you. Thank you to the crew. Thank you to everyone. New York Ric, Ariel Helwani. Back next week, same time, place. Peace.